All right, what's up, family? Here's another very good education one for you. Think about this one because this definitely touches home with all y'all out there. So I'm gonna title this one 6 words. Let's see if I get it right. Why there are not many male teachers. I screwed up. Let me do it right. Why there's not many male teachers. There you go. Why there's not many male teachers. Just think about what I'm saying. Yes, I'm talking to you and everyone out there. Think about it when you were back in elementary school, middle school, high school. Think. It doesn't matter if you are a female watching this or a male watching this. Think about when you were back in school. You could probably count the male teachers that was at your school, right? Am I wrong?
What's crazy, when I grew up, being in school, I didn't see no male teachers.
See, that's my point.
So my thing is that if you ask me, I would think that was a norm thing to.
You've seen all female teachers.
Yeah, that was just a normal thing.
Do you not think it's necessary to have male teachers? It is very necessary to have male teachers. They need to see role models. But however, it is an abundance of females teachers. So back to the title. Why there are not many male teachers. Now let me touch on why there's not many male teachers. But before I touch on that, think about it. Like my wife said, she didn't even see male teachers in her schools growing up. It was all females. If you did see a male teacher, you know what it normally was? The gym teacher. Maybe the art teacher. Something like that. You know. But know who the main males you've seen in the school? The janitor. Am I not right? And his was even more surprising to a lot of y'all if you didn't know. The janitor made more money than a lot of the doggone teachers. Isn't that crazy? My personal opinion, I'm pretty sure a lot of people think the way I think. These are the people that should be getting paid big bucks. Teachers, educators, right? Why is it that garbage men make more money than teachers? But we could touch on that later. But now, let's touch on, like as I was getting ready to say, why is there lack of male teachers? Because if you got an abundance of female teachers, are you going to tell me that that's fair? Because if that's fair, then are you going to tell me that that school is all female students? No, there's female students and there's male little boys as well. So if there's female students and male students, why aren't there equal male teachers and female teachers? But it's always pretty much 90% of female teachers, and if you're lucky, 10% of male teachers. Actually, when you do the numbers across the nation, they say male teachers, especially in elementary, they only make up about 25% for the teachers in these schools across the nation. Only 25%. So now, let's touch on why. Why? Just think about it. Why is there a lack of male teachers, especially when it comes to ECE? You know, and that just stands for Early Childhood Education. Y'all heard of that before, right? Meaning elementary school, ECE, Early Childhood Education. Why is there such a lack of male teachers? Let me give you some simple numbers. There's many reasons, but I'm gonna give you some of the most simple. The pay. The pay is a reason because a lot of males figure I'm gonna work this job and they're paying me close to peanuts, pennies. Now you say, if that's the case, well, women are doing it. A lot of times the women have a husband who works a job that covers the bulk of their bills. And they're just working this job as, even if you look historically, the reason why most women were teachers because they considered teaching a practical job. It was a job where most women were off on the weekends and always off on the summers. But they was always home when the kids got home. So it kind of made sense why they were teachers. Whereas the man was out working hard and all that. That's why most of them weren't. But anyway, like I said, the pay. Most men will find it hard to work a job like that, trying to cover the bulk of the bills, making this mediocre pay. That's one of the reasons. Now, we could go way down the rabbit hole with that pay, but let's just move on to the other one. The other one is the most obvious because of, and it's bias. That's the reason. That's the second reason. It's bias for most males to be teachers, especially with ECE, early childhood education. It's biased for them to be teachers because why? Because of their co-workers, their family and their friends, and the parents of the teachers, and the parents of the children that they are teaching. What do you mean bias? We could touch on a whole lot of those things. Bias meaning there could be a board meeting with all the teachers. There could be a conference meeting, right? And they're agreeing or disagreeing on something. Majority of the women could say this. The man is outnumbered pretty much 10-1. When he gives his vote, it's always going to be outnumbered by the women. And even if he tried to be firm with his opinion or vote on whatever, guess what? They still going to outnumber him, and then they start saying, "Oh, he's acting too masculine. We're not too in particular about how he acts." What do you mean how he acts? It is amazing how they have made it to where a man gotta quiet himself down, demasculine himself in order to be in a position. This man may even, so look at it this way. Even if a man say it's not about the pay, because you do have lovely adults out there that does this. They say it's not about the pay. It's about that I have a passion to teach, and I want to be able to reach some of these students and make a difference. That man may have some savings, or he got a family to fall back on. So it's not about the money. It's about the passion that he has to teach and to reach these students. So now, even when he does that, they make it to where it's so biased that the man may be able to reach this student like the females can. And he may be teaching the curriculum according to the school, but then he may have a added way to be able to reach them that they don't know, right? But when he's doing these things, know what the principal, the vice principal, and everyone would say, "Hey, listen, you're going against our protocol of teaching. You can't be doing this, and you can't be doing that." It's like, wait a minute, I'm still teaching what's on hand, but now y'all making all these roadblocks for me. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. And it makes a man, you keep demasculating him more and more, being less than a man. Let me give you a prime example. I remember when I was in elementary school, like most of the teachers were female. When we did have a male teacher, boy, oh boy, was we happy to go to his class. Boy, oh boy, was we happy whenever he came and played kickball with us. The female teachers didn't do that. We was happy whenever we did the work assignment. Afterwards, he would tell us what we did wrong and how we could have did it right and this and that. And after we got a good grade, then he would sit there and tell us about the game last night. Talk about the wrestling last night. Talk about, hey, I got the new such and such sneakers. Y'all got that new outfit. I got the same thing what y'all got. So much things where there's a connection. That's what the man is doing with the young boys and the young men. He's just making a connection. And once you make the connection, the kids trust that man a lot more. You can trust the women too. But I'm talking about what the privileges that a man have. He has a connection that the schools put up roadblocks and hoops that they want him to jump through. Therefore, it gets to a point where he goes, no, I'm not going to keep doing this. Y'all keep demasculating me, not allowing me to be a man. Now, I love another thing that you said earlier, babe. When you said, when you got towards college, you started to see more men, right?
Yes, more male teachers.
And you're right.
Yeah.
You know why you started to see more men in college opposed to high school, middle school, and elementary? Definitely not. Because in college, the professors, men and women, both, now they were able to make more money for less work. See, now when it was in elementary school, they did these 9, 10-hour shifts. But in college, now they probably do 2 or 3 classes. That's the end of their day, making more pay, doing less work, but they're doing positive work. So back to the title, why there's not many male teachers. Simply put, the pay is one reason. Y'all paying these male teachers mediocre money, and that's not enough money to pay for the overhead of the bills for his family. Women could do it in most cases, not all, because even a lot of them are struggling. Women could do it because most of them, who's carrying the bulk head of the overhead bills is the husband. So remember, like I told you, historically, women were pretty much doing teacher jobs because it was considered a practical job. And they was always home on the weekend, and they was always home all summer. And therefore, they was always home when the kids got home. That's historically. Another thing to remember is, for example, once again, back to when I was a kid. So many times a teacher had, let's say it was a fight at the school. I'm not saying that females can't break up the fight, but I remember plenty of times in middle school, when I was like in the 6th, 7th grade, when a fight broke out through two 12, 13, 14-year-old kids, that's when they start getting a little strength, right? And most females are smaller. When a fight broke out, and if they was, depending on how angry these two teenagers were, they really going at it. And the teachers try to break it up, to no avail. They screaming like the other students are screaming. But when there was a male around, he came on the scene. He's like, hey, you guys, especially if there was a connection. He didn't have to even do a lot, because if that male teacher made a connection with them students on other days, when they just heard his voice, it was with respect, where they go, yeah, but teacher says, I don't want to hear nothing right now. Y'all both out here embarrassing both of yourselves. Now, look, both of y'all come with me. And then he would go there and talk to both of them and calm them down. Something that most females, not saying that they can't do, but I never seen it. But males, their presence is needed. But the school's got to do a much better job at paying these teachers what they're worth, opposed to paying them meager pay, peanuts. And stop giving these male teachers roadblocks. You keep blocking everything that this teacher is trying to do. If the teacher is making progress with the students' grades and making progress with them even after school, sometimes his teachers, they make results in school and out of school where these kids, they respect what this teacher is saying. All teachers, but I'm talking about a male teacher right now. They respect so much, but now the school curriculum want to keep putting roadblocks up to this man. And then you wonder why so many men go, no, I'm not doing this no more. Stop trying to demasculine a man and paying them peanuts. And then wonder why there's so less men in our kids' lives when they're little. They need to see a male role model just like female role models. It is unfair for all the little girls get to see all women do teaching, but the little boys don't get the same privilege to see men teaching. There's no way anyone out there can tell me that is fair. That is not fair. Both kids should have the privilege to learn from both male and female, because there's a lot that she has to give and there's a lot that he has to give. And together, they build this young man and this young woman to be great. But when you keep demasculating this man, they only getting it from one side.
Exactly. And then on top of that, just to add up what you just said, it's very important to have a man and a woman in school to teach the right leadership, to be leaderships the right way.
Leadership, yes.
Because in their homes, they're probably not getting that.
True.
But at the same time, we as parents, we should also take over and these take 5 minutes. Because some parents, they don't have time to teach their kids what they teach in school. Sometimes they don't teach anything in school. Yeah. But at the same time, you got parents that they can teach a little more, even if it's 5 minutes.
That's a great point. And I agree with you 100% because you're right. They need to reinforce education when they get home. We spoke about this many times, like an old video we did called Never Stop Learning. Go and watch that. Trust me. It's me and my daughter. And they know when my kids will come home, I will always get them. What'd you learn today? Teach me something that you learned today. I remember my younger daughter. I remember one of her homework assignments she did. I went over it. Like my wife was saying. They weren't going to just come home and think, oh, yeah, I did my homework. It's all done. No, I want to check it. And not only did I check her homework, sure enough, all homework, my younger daughter, when she did it, it was all correct. But it wasn't. And you go, what do you mean it wasn't? If it was. It was, but it wasn't. What I mean, when I checked it, she had all the answers correct. It was. But, remember, anytime someone say but, it's like they're going to say just the opposite. It's a really nice day today, but it's going to rain later today, right? All her questions and her answers were correct. All her answers to the question was correct. However, it was the most sloppiest work ever. And I told my daughter, I said, yo, this is all wrong. You're going to do this over. She's like, what? What are you talking about? She was so confident that she even knew, Dad, those are right. I know those are right. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Everyone on there, you're right. They was right. But look at the work. I said, it is sloppy. Your penmanship. And I asked her, I said, you know what penmanship means? And at the time, she didn't. I said, go look it up. And I had her look it up because I had bought them a dictionary. They wasn't too happy with it. That was a Christmas gift. That was one of the Christmas gifts. They wasn't happy at the time because, they wanted toys and everything else and money. I said, go get your dictionary. I had her look it up. Now that she knew what penmanship, I said, that's what, from now on, that's what you're going to start doing. Every one of your questions, the answers that you put, they are correct. But I said, but this work is so sloppy. It's not acceptable for me, and I'm not going to allow you to put it in school and think your teacher's going to accept it. It's got to pass me first, then you're going to take it to school. So, of course, she was real upset with me. But she did it over, and it was very nice. And from that day on, she knew, I don't care if it's math or writing. You better write this legible. And then I gave her another word, legible. You better write this lucid. I kept giving her different words, and she know. Learning didn't stop when you came home. So my wife is right. Even we understand a lot of you parents, you're working hard hours and the bills, this inflation is ridiculous. But take, even if it's just 5 minutes you spend with your child and you reinforce knowledge at home, what they learned in school, but what you can teach them. And open up a book together. Learn and teach them something that you could teach them. Teach them something about their history.
Exactly.
But more importantly, male teachers are definitely needed in society. More than we see them, because a lot of us definitely did not see them much when we were growing up. And on that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment.